Hey, Rydyell here with a 5.0 deck tech of Oreo Pox. It's your typical mono black Pox list, just splashing white for Vindicate. Vindicate's one of the best answers we've got right now in Season 18, and Fetid Heath makes it a really easy splash. As long as you've got another colored source, Fetid Heath lets you cast any of your spells with ease. Temple of Silence lets us scry lands to the bottom later in the game, or helps find a removal spell when we need it. And Mishra's Factory is a great land later in the game, as we can attack as a 2/2 without dying to Smallpox or board wipes out of the sideboard. Skull Fracture is a lot weaker than Raven's Crime, which rotated out last season, but still being able to potentially discard 2 cards at the cost of 1 card is definitely worth it in this deck. Shrieking Affliction is a great rack here. Getting your opponent down to 1 card in hand isn't too difficult, especially if you've wiped the board, then you're going to need to deploy threats. There aren't too many cards other than Treasure Cruise for card advantage in the format right now. I'm really liking 2 main deck Duress. People are playing some of the spell lands from Zendikar Rising, and even most aggro decks are still playing some non-creature, non-land cards. Dark Blast is a really great card when you've got Delver of Secrets and turn 1 elves to deal with. A Dark Blast on turn 1 after your opponent lands a threat like that can sometimes be a game winner right there. Cling to Dust is mostly just for a little bit of extra value. You can discard it to Smallpox, and you can cycle it away, or you can maybe gain some life. It's mostly just an all-around decent card, and sometimes it can help you turn the tide or win a match that you normally wouldn't. The main card here, obviously, we've got Smallpox. The idea is this is a symmetrical card, but if you don't have a creature, if you don't care about discarding a card, it's not quite as symmetrical. This card is the single reason we're always going to choose to be on the draw in this deck. We're caring about just how many cards our opponent has, how many threats they have, and if we can run them out of resources, if we can take care of everything that they throw at us, we're going to win that game. We're going to win the war of attrition. Hymn to Turok really helps as a 2-for-1, and the fact that it's a random discard is just a bonus on top. Sometimes you're going to hit the only 2 lands in your opponent's hand. Sometimes you're going to hit the only 2 threats. When you can capitalize on that with a big creature afterwards, you're going to win the game right there. Heartless Act, great 2 mana instant speed removal. Doesn't hit everything in the format, but it's really valuable, and it's still pretty useful. I like Davriel, but I only have 2 in the deck right now. As we don't have any early creatures to protect him, he sometimes is a little bit weaker. But if you're playing against a slower deck, he can be a 3 mana discard 3 or a rack later in the game if you need him. Similarly, Nixithid isn't as strong as he was last season when I had 4 in the deck. This deck isn't as much about getting the opponent to 0 in hand, and so Nixithid isn't as often a 5/5 or 6/6, but he's still a big threat and decently enough sized that you can make some blocks, make some attacks when you need it. As I said earlier, Vindicate just gets you through anything you need. If your opponent is stuck on lands after a Smallpox, you can turn it into a Stone Rain. If you can't deal with a certain enchantment, you can take care of it with this. The real biggest threat in this deck, and maybe the reason I've had so much success, is Desecration Demon. Getting a 6/6 flyer out, which your opponents have a really hard time dealing with, is amazing play in this format right now. Delver of Secrets decks don't have ways to get past it. They can't burn it with red decks, and there aren't very many decks that are going wide enough to sack creatures to it to keep it tapped down. This is an awesome 4 mana play, and I love this card. Tombstalker is just a little bit of extra value. As we're discarding cards, we're going to fill up our graveyard pretty quickly. Tombstalker can easily be a turn 4 or turn 5 play, sometimes even sooner depending on the hand. Moving on to the sideboard choices. We're oftentimes or always choosing the draw, and so we're going to be behind the game if we're playing against a mono red or an aggressive creature based aggro deck. Timely Reinforcements is a great addition with the white mana. We gain 6 life, it's just insane against burn, and getting 3 creatures, you're going to be able to turn the tide pretty quickly with this card. We have the additional 2 copies of Duress. These come in pretty quickly against any controlling deck, any storm deck right now. Choking Sands is another one that I'm really liking. There's so many non-basic lands right now. You've got Cloud Posts, you've got all these filter lands that are new in the format. Choking Sands almost always has a target against a double color deck. Flaying Tendrils is probably one of the better board wipes we have for the low to the ground creature decks. Mono red aggro, especially right now, has mostly 2 power and 2 toughness. Maybe an occasional 3/3. This also deals with a lot of affinities creatures. They really don't get buffs and toughness. Ritual of Soot is that catch-all. The Delver deck doesn't really play anything bigger than this other than maybe a Crackling Drake, which we can remove pretty easily with Heartless Act or Vindicate. So Ritual of Soot really takes care of most of the early game small creatures that people are trying to burn you down with quickly. Then we have the 4 Nile Spellbomb. Still not sure if these are entirely worth it, as our Dredge matchup is probably impossible even with the Spellbomb. But you never know. Sometimes it can they're going to stumble on their Dredge cards and you're just going to be able to turn the tide on them. Sometimes they don't find those Creeping Chill payoffs. Sometimes, just one wipe of the graveyard is enough to deal with something. Time to get into the matches. Alright, here we go. First match with Smallpox. Wish our opponent luck. This is an interesting hand. Obviously one of the downsides of these Mishra's Factory. We have got a good 14 swamps and some tap lands, but the downside is we just lose the game, so I think we should mulligan this one here. And there's a much better hand. We will get rid of 1 swamp and opponent's turn. Island, maybe Ponder, Gitaxian Probe. Oh, nice. Top deck Duress. Let's see what we were working with. Rainstorm to potentially hide some cards from us. Okay, they are the Storm deck. We see Ritual, Brainstorm. I'm going to take the Ritual. And I'll get rid of this preview here. Now this, of course, is one of the tough parts of this deck is, do we... Okay, I was thinking, do we play Smallpox here, or do we wait to get enough mana to go Vindicate Desecration Demon, because it doesn't look like they have a very fast Storm hand without any rituals. But Hymn to Turok really changes that. I think we just slam it and hopefully hit something good here. Oh, there we go. So they put a ritual back. And we ended up getting one of the Brainstorms. So these are the 3 cards in their hand right now. And they cast another Brainstorm. So now we don't exactly know what's going on. They're probably looking for lands. Vindicate's only target against them is going to be their lands. So basically Stone Rain. Frantic Search. Oh, they're trying to go off right now. Alright, well, let's see what they got. They did not. Okay, so we know they have Shimmer in hand. They concede right away. Okay, that is very early concession, but all right. So what do we have that's not good against them? Heartless Act, that's only going to deal with creatures. And Dark Blast, only going to deal with creatures. And Cling to Dust's incremental value against turn 4 combo deck is not necessary here, so let's get rid of those. Timely Reinforcements. Don't see that doing anything. I'd like 2 more Duress. And yeah, Choking Sands. They play Filter Lands. They play the Bad Rivers tapped. So now the question is, do we bring in any Spell Bombs? They're 4 Treasure Cruise deck, and it's pretty much their only card advantage. I think there's some merit to it. But with our 4 Duresses, with our Smallpox, even then, I think we're okay without it for now. If we see that maybe they're running the Accumulated Knowledge, then maybe it's worth it, but we mostly just hope they don't have 2 or 3 Brainstorms in the first, or Treasure Cruises in the top what, 10, top 20. Let's see, they should choose to be on the draw. They don't. Again, with the Mishra's Factory, I mean, it's a great card. It's only 4 of our 24 lands. This hand at least has the Skull Fracture, Shrieking Affliction, and the upside of having him if we draw. I mean, we have a Scry to draw it. I think it's definitely worth it. Let's keep it. This will be interesting if they end up bringing in Duress or anything like that. They cast Chromatic Star, and they are thinking. Alright, they decided to pass the turn without taking any actions. Alright, Hymn to Turok. Let's find a swamp on top. Mishra's Factory not going to cut it. Yikes. Okay, we really want a swamp. It's interesting that they're using the Gitaxian probes and not saving them for their storm turn, because they're not going to be storming off this turn. I don't know. Oh, okay. We'll get a Duress and see what they have. They sacrifice a star to Spell Pierce? No, Brainstorm again. Okay. That's fine, we'll still hit something. And we hit, okay, interesting. We hit Treasure Cruise acquisition. It's got to be Treasure Cruise. So they still have Duress acquisition, Murmuring Mystic. Murmuring Mystic I'm not too scared about with our smallpox. Depending on what they put back on top of their deck, they might not have a great storm hand here. Okay, they play the island. Dark Ritual, they're going for it? No, they're going Mystic Duress. Okay. Then they take the smallpox. Now I'm in trouble. A little bit. Frantic Search is going to enable them most likely to have a pretty decent turn of birds next turn. They don't take the smallpox. Okay, well, they got lucky anyway. They're keeping the Mastermind's acquisition. That's odd. Taxing Probe. Yeah, this one's tough. Like, you kind of have to get rid of Heartless Act, but they're still going to land a Mystic and potentially win that way. Oh, and then they search for Treasure Cruise here. I see. Most likely. No, Cataxin Probe. They just want another bird. Okay. Well, that was a little too late. Yeah, I mean, we have Vindicates to deal with that. I'll just run it back. I would not like to play first. I would love to keep this hand. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, opponent does not mulligan. Probably a good choice. No turn 1 duress. Ah, nice. Okay. They have Cabal Ritual, Shimmer, Shimmer, Land. Okay. Get rid of the ritual. They're not going to have any super fast combo on us. River of Tears. Oh, nope. River does not make blue mana the turn it comes in. Alright. Him. Discard 1 Shimmer, 1 Swamp. Probably Davriel next turn here. Davriel, Desecration Demon. They hit the Shimmer. Bad River. Okay. And yeah, here they're just going to have a really hard time going off with 2 cards if they don't have a Treasure Cruise sitting there in hand. I think there's some merit to taking care of one of the lands with Vindicate, but I think I'd rather keep it up in order to deal with a Murmuring Mystic if that comes out. Are they trying to cast? Cabal Ritual. Murmuring Mystic. Yep. Great. So yeah, this is exactly where we want to be here. Got the Davriel. Next turn we've got the Desecration Demon. They're going to need to top deck something here. I mean, of course, they have Ponder, they have Brainstorm. They're going to be able to find stuff. But we're going to establish a really fast clock with Desecration Demon into Nixithid next turn. Duress is going to whiff on this hand. And yeah, they concede. There we go, match 1. Alright, into match 2. Wish our opponent luck. They choose to play first. We've got ourselves a predicament here with the Mishra's Factory. We have 19 lands that produce black. I think it's got to be a mulligan here. Alright, yeah, that was probably a good choice. This hand, nothing super powerful in it, but we've got the temple. I'll just stick to 1 temple here. Most likely to play temple on turn 1 depending on what we draw. Opponent with the Vivid Meadow. What is that? Vivid Meadow enters battlefield tapped. Oh, okay, it's the same as the Vivid lands from last season. There we go, Desecration Demon, that's a great draw. Mishra's Factory, not really something we want to see. We've already got a big demon to swing in with. So what kind of deck is playing with these? Like maybe like a Esper Control? 2 Vivid Meadows, okay. Yeah, this is super weird. Okay, we put a Mishra's Factory on the bottom. Alright. Shrieking Affliction. Opponent's going really slow. I don't think we need to hold up a Heartless Act there. Black, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It is Esper Control. Hymn to Turok. Oh, hits the Desecration Demon. That hurts. And Rakdos Carnarium. Okay, so maybe it's Mardu. Mardu Control. Well, the Carnarium's actually pretty good for them as far as getting the land back to hand to discard to Davriel. It's kind of a cool setup. Timely Reinforcements, okay. And another hymn. Alright, well, my hand's empty. And they have another land in hand. Yeah, these bounce lands are good for them right now. Alright, I mean, this is what the flashback is nice for with the Skull Fracture. With Davriel, we can make them discard one of their lands, maybe. So we know they have 1 Vivid Meadow and Unknown in hand. They're holding up. Ooh, okay. I don't expect a deck like theirs that this blue is actually for counter magic. Just seeing Palaka Predation, Hymn to Turok. Yeah, I'm going to commit the Vindicate on the Carnarium here. Spikefield Hazard, okay. So we should have used the Davriel up. Yeah. But that is quite the tempo play. So yeah, one of the downsides of doing something like that with both bounce lands is I have smallpox in my deck, and you do not want to be sacrificing lands when I have smallpox. Okay. But yeah, the bounce lands are cool. They looks like they're using them a little bit with these new lands from Zendikar Rising. Just get a little bit of value out of that. What? Explore? Are they just going 5-color nonsense here? Orzhov Basilica. What? Alright, well, we're hitting lands here. Okay, so opponent's got 5 mana now. Basilica, Boiler Works, Vivid Meadow. Abzan Colors. Balagad Recovery, Vivid Meadow. What in the world? Oh, there we go, a hymn. Okay, what did they have up their sleeve? Timely and another hymn. Yeah, okay. So now it's top deck wars, except I'm dealing 5 to them a turn. They have 6 mana. Collected Conjuring. Oh, I see. Sorceries. Top 6 may cast up to 2 sorcery spells. So they play probably Vindicate on the Shrieking Affliction. Maybe Praetor's Grasp. So they can play one of my cards, the Shrieking Affliction. Weird. I've not seen this card in action yet. I guess that's what the blue's for. So it's just face down, so I don't know what they actually have. Weird. Maybe it's a Vindicate. That probably actually makes sense. Could be Desecration Demon. That's going to be hard for me to answer without a Vindicate or another Smallpox. Davriel. Not what I would have chosen. That is a pretty slow threat. 2 damage per turn when I'm doing this to you per turn. Unless they have an instant speed action for Mishra's Factory, but so far their whole deck is sorceries, so yeah, the Skull Fracture doesn't really matter here. We're just looking for maybe like Desecration Demon, Tombstalker. Another, no, piece of the puzzle, top 5. Him and Spikefield. And Vindicate, okay. Okay, I see. Puts those into the graveyard. They put another pieces and Vindicate, okay. There's Tombstalker right off the top. So they're going to need to find an answer for the 5/5. We know they have another piece of the puzzle. Chain lightning into slag storm, and then they have piece of the puzzle in hand. Okay. Oh, shrieking affliction, I guess. Now our top deck discard means a lot. What a weird matchup this has been. So they put Balagad, Recovery, and Explore. Okay, so they can... Return Conjuring. Again, very weird play here. We play the Desecration Demon. They're pretty much out of Vindicates, hopefully. Ah, there it is. Vindicate and pieces of the puzzle. Yeah, piece of the puzzle is a pretty nice card advantage for them here. Chain Lightning, another Conjuring, Clear the Mind. They put Clear the Mind and Conjuring. Well, let's see if another top deck Desecration Demon can do it. Nope, they find Vindicate and Conjuring. No, Clear the Mind. Okay. Factory. Alright. Another Vindicate. Another piece of the puzzle. Explore. Okay. Again, I would not be doing this. You're going to take 3. That is... Yeah, they actually just... Do they just lose here? They take 1. Shrieking Affliction. They need to now draw an exact answer to Shrieking Affliction or they lose. Or, Lightning Bolt my face. No, yeah, they're dead. Shrieking Affliction deals 3. That was a super weird play from the opponent. Getting rid of... Basically discarding 3 cards by playing those lands. Okay, they figured it out in chat. Alright. Oh, weird deck. Dark Blast probably doesn't do anything. Cling to Dust, Duress, Choking Sands. Man, people are just playing all these crazy non-basic lands right now. Okay, so we didn't see any creatures from them. Makes me want to get rid of the Heartless Axe. I saw so much removal with Vindicate, Chain Lightning. Luckily none of my stuff dies to Chain Lightning. Yeah, I think it's honestly going to come down to them playing a bounce land. Myself playing Smallpox or Choking Sands, Vindicate on it. I mean, that's just a 2-turn Yeah, we'll see. They definitely messed up with that summer bloom play. I mean, obviously it's fun to play a bounce land and all that, but that was rough. Yeah, we're gonna keep the small pox and choking sand's hand here. Potentially we'll wait on the small pox, but it really depends on if they vivid marsh into tap land here, or sorry, bounce land. Yeah, Nyxothid makes me think. Okay, no, they're not doing the. Yeah, they're playing it smart. Let's play it slow. Let's wait for them to play one of their bounce lands, and then we can do the choking sands. They're being careful. Oh, remorse. Okay. Of course, now they have a lot of options here. They do take the choking sands. Yeah, I think now at this point, with them light on lands, trying to decide if I'm ready to play the Nyxothid or if I want to play Shrieking Affliction, Smallpox. Their mana is just looking really, really bad. Like, they can't even cast a Vindicate here. They could cast a Chain Lightning on the Nyxothid. I think we want to get him down right now. I'm just kind of ignoring Smallpox. Okay, they do have the piece of the puzzle. Finding bloom, predation, pieces. They probably take the predation. It's a land drop. Timely. Okay, yeah, so they take pieces and put predation. They play the cave. Okay. Yeah, Nyxothid's not really doing too much here. We didn't get the early him at all, but okay, so Spikefield Cave is probably gearing up for their conjuring right here. Yep. Nope, another pieces. It does find conjuring and vindicate. And that kills the Nyxothid. So, one lucky spot here is they actually don't even have blue mana or white mana for Vindicate. And we have another Desecration Demon. This sometimes happens, I think, when you play a 5-color deck with a bunch of lands that only tap for one color. You're just going to have moments like this. Their lands that do tap for random colors come in tapped. Yeah, Boiler works here. So, I honestly don't know if they have any way to not take 12 next turn. Alright, opponent says played the wrong land. Probably at some point, yeah. They definitely needed to have played one of their double color lands, but we'll take it. Alright, match 3, we are on the draw. We see a hand, 2 lands, Shrieking Affliction, Smallpox, Tombstalker, Heartless Act, Vindicate. Wish our opponent luck. Yeah, I mean, this is a great hand, the Heartless Act. Vindicate, it's a lot of removal. We don't have a lot of hand interaction, but I think this can be pretty bad if they're on Storm. But let's see, they mulligan to 6. Okay, keeping their 6. Let's see what the opponent's working with. Island Delver, Island Ponder. M10 Art. Chooses not to shuffle. Alright. Yeah, let's start with the Shrieking Affliction. This still could be Storm we're working with here. We drew Nyx-Athid. Not the best against Storm with Treasure Cruise. Another island. Judge's Familiar. Alright. So that makes Smallpox a not good turn 2 play. We're going to wait till turn 3. So, sacrifice Judge's Familiar, counter target instant or sorcery. Yikes. I mean, this is a great card. Really versatile. I like it probably in both mono white and mono blue decks. So this may be some sort of mono blue skies deck. Maybe they're trying to suit up creatures and stuff. I think I'm going to hold the Heartless Act for now. They definitely have some sort of spell pierce, some sort of interaction here. It's actually interesting. Let's do the Nyx-Athid play if they're trying to hold up spell pierce or something. Okay. Now, as long as they don't have Brainstorm, we're all right. So yeah, there are probably way too many blue decks playing Brainstorm for Nyx-Athid to be a great card anymore. Oh, there's the Fairy Vandal. Now here's where we see if they suit it up with Curious Obsession. No, Gitaxian Probe. I'll get the counter on the Vandal. White. Oh yes. Birds. Blue-white Delver won a tournament. Put target creature in its owner's library, gains 3 life. Okay. I am okay with that. So they're definitely holding up. Yeah, some sort of spell pierce here. Okay, so yeah, I really liked going Smallpox, Heartless Act, and Tombstalker maybe next turn. We know we're drawing a Nyx-Athid next turn, so we can get rid of one of those. Yeah, let's actually get rid of Vindicate. We don't have any white mana coming in. Now the Smallpox will activate Shrieking Affliction, sacrifice a Swamp, and we'll probably wait till their next turn to throw the Heartless Act, which does not kill Fairy Vandal. But it's not going to have to. You just erase it. Another Gitaxian Probe. Oh, I see. They pay. I did this mistake the other day. Okay, there's the Delver. So yeah, we're definitely going to, what? What are they trying to cast? Treasure Cruise. Yikes. Okay. And they get a land. Okay. Well, we're still going to throw down Heartless Act on the Delver. If they have interaction, they have it. Alright, let's get our Nyxothid going. Because our opponent has so nicely taken 4 damage off of their Gitaxian probes, we are probably winning this race at the moment. It did seem in that situation that they tapped the blue mana. They were planning to pay the blue mana for the Gitaxian probe, but it's a lot easier to just tap your face. There we go. They did it right this time. Brainstorm. Okay, we really want to find some discard here, or just anything that they have to counter or interact with, to get our Shrieking Affliction online. Yeah, that's not going to do it, but yeah, I think we jam the Tombstalker here. Okay. So now we... What? Wow. Okay, Rally of Wings untaps the creatures. Jeez, I just got blown up by that. That's pretty sweet. Okay. Wow. Well, the Fairy Vandal's back to a 5/6. Yeah, they're holding back. This is a really good sign for us. So we don't get in with the Tombstalker. We play the Nyxothid. We pass, and then next turn we just go all out. Factories, Shrieking Affliction. They're at 6 off Shrieking Affliction. Delver. Doesn't flip. Okay. Vindicate we cannot cast. Alright, let's think this through. We attack in Factory, Nyxothid, Tombstalker. Tombstalker probably dies to the very Vandal. Nyxothid is chumped. Both factories get in. They're down to 2. Yeah. They're dead to a top deck removal spell here, or discard spell. Kills their Delver. Now we have Lethal with a Mishra's Factory getting in unblocked. And they, okay. Alright, game 1. Fairy Vandals, Delver Secrets, Rydyell Wings. The Nixithids are not looking very good here, I don't think. We definitely need Ritual of Soot. Really like Duress. Don't mind Dark Blasts. Don't want Cling to Dust. Heartless Act is still fine. Davriels are pretty weak. They have a lot of flyers. I don't mind a Tendrils. Yeah, let's do it. No need for Timely. No need for Spell Bombs. Choking Sands, they're just blue and white mostly, I think. Maybe they have the Filter Land, but... Or I'm sure they have the Filter Land, but it's not worth it. Okay, there we go. That's a better start here. Skull Fracture into him is going to be really powerful against them. Again with the Gataxian Probe, I don't... Like, they took 6 damage off of it last game. Or 4 damage. They... Alright. This format's going to get harder when opponents don't start the game at 16 life. 14 life, sorry. Yikes. They just did a lot of nothing right there. A whole lot of nothing. Well, especially with the second hymn. They're holding up counter magic. Doesn't matter. We'll roll it out. They do not. Okay. And they lost their treasure cruise, so unless they got another treasure cruise sitting around, that's going to be a tough draw. Okay, there's the Nimbus Maze. Not a filter land. Another hymn. Oust Island, Affliction. I'm just trying to figure out what they kept. Okay, they had Disenchant. Maybe the Disenchant was what they were excited about. They needed to disenchant that before their turn. Alright. Let's just get the Tombstalker out of here. We'll lose Skull Fracture, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna say the opponent kind of won the game for me with this Gataxian Probe setup. Like, obviously him hitting the treasure cruise is really lucky and really nice, but without any threats, I just don't know if that's a keepable hand. Alright, we got Desecration Demon on the top of the deck. We got Mishra's Factory, we got Tombstalker. Fairy Vandal. Because that's the thing, that they can't deploy a Fairy Vandal turn 4, turn 5, and win the game. They need it turn 2. Alright, Shrieking Affliction wins the match. Alright, match 3. 3-0 in the league so far. Alrighty, here we go. Game, or match 4. Burner account 52 chooses to play first. Huh. This is an interesting hand. Wish our opponent good luck. We got Mishra's Factory, 2 removals, or 2 discard spells, Nixithid, Vindicate. Yeah, it's not very strong, but eh. It functions. Oh, they are Esper Control, looks like. Arcane Sanctum coming in. You know, let's get the Shrieking Affliction down right away, actually. They're pretty likely to have keep up, probably Mana Leak or something like that. Okay, no, I'm totally wrong. They are they are going to beat me to death with the Darksteel Citadel. Yikes. Okay. Well, Nixithid can get big enough. Really? Arcane Sanctum. Affinity. I didn't know the mana was like that. Maybe it works. Or we'll find out. Alright, so probably our favorite draw here would be a Fetid Heath off the top, so we can Vindicate the Ensoul artifact. Otherwise, that Darksteel Citadel is going to stay alive for a while. Prism. Yeah, maybe they are kind of like a slower. They're not really affinity. They're kind of going in for the artifact synergy and soul artifact. Yeah, I really have to play the temple here so I can get the white mana next turn. There's no other way around it here. And we just gotta really hope they don't have counter magic for it. They did get rid of a Rebuke. Etched Champion, protection from all colors. But 2/2 is, as long as they don't suit it up with an equipment, not the worst thing to deal with. So here, actually, I think it's the Desecration Demon. And then Vindicate. I think that's what it is. Desecration Demon, chump block or not chump block, but just straight up block the Darksteel Citadel. I mean, hopefully they don't have removal for the demon. Etched Champion gets blocked by Mishra's Factory. Mishra's Factory is a great card. So if we find a land here, we have Vindicate on the artifact and Mishra's Factory. It's a pretty awesome block setup there. So we're dead in 2 turns from the champions. Okay, so we attack in for 6 with a demon. We play another demon. block the Citadel. Yeah, I mean, this is just such a bad situation to be in here. The artifact getting in for 10 is just, oh, it's painful. But Flame Tendrils out of the sideboard sounds good for Etch Champion. Glaze Fiend flying. Whenever another artifact enters, gets +2/+2. I see. So they just, oh yeah, I'm dead on board. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll try this again. Flame Tendrils, Ritual of Soot. Davriel's not gonna make it here. Cling to Dust, Dark Blast doesn't look like it. Don't like Duress. I'm fine with Timely. Just makes a ton of blockers. Nixithid is still good. Yeah. We can cut one demon here. They seem to have enough. They're going to have enough creatures. We still don't want to play first, though. Ooh, that is a beautiful hand to see. We have both an answer. We have an answer to them going wide. We have an answer to them to suiting up. Oh, they weren't expecting me to take the draw. Alright, my cat is on the desk. Okay, we draw a Desecration Demon. Don't need the factory here. Alright, so that's tough for them. They have the Signal Pest. I think I'm okay still with putting the Dark Blast in the sideboard, now that we have the board wipes with the Flame Tendrils and stuff. Okay, hit them with the Hymn. Ginger Brute, Signal Pest. So they still are a low to ground deck, they just had all of their big payoffs last turn, or last game. So I'm glad I brought in all of my sweepers. This definitely feels like they have a they're going to suit up the Citadel or Ornithopter or something. I really want to leave the Tendrils for when we actually have an Etched Champion to deal with, because they're not going to be able to suit up the Etched Champion with the... Oh, they don't even attack. What are they doing? Yeah, I mean, in this case, I will just cast a Desecration Demon. Maybe they're just trying to hold up a counterspell. Totally fine with that. If they don't want to attack. We have single target removal for pretty much all of their stuff here. We could actually go after the Arcane Sanctum. If they're playing this, it probably means that they're not playing the Springleaf Drum. Okay. No, I will, I'll get another demon down. Still blocks all of their creatures really nicely. Maybe they have removal for it, but... Okay, there's their third land. So that'll get them Etched Champion, which is what I'm trying to save the tendrils for. Prism, draw a card. Glacefiend gets bigger. Ornithopter, Glacefiend gets bigger. Okay. This is a really tough one. It's like I don't even want to do anything. I'm just gonna... I think at this point, let's do... Oh no, the tendrils. Oh, I played my factory first. Oh, that was bad. Alright, unfortunate. They're suiting up the artifact here. 5/5 indestructible still does not make it through a 6/6. Yeah, that's... This card is great. We'll take care of the Ensoul artifact and yeah, see what they got left. Nothing. Okay, we will attack. I'm not even going to bother with this Tombstalker here. Okay, there we go. Game 2, and starting to think Dark Blast is got a spot. Glacefiend, especially Sigma Pest. I'll take out one Timely. There's enough flying going on. Okay. Alright, we have Ritual of Soot. We have Hymn to Turok. Okay. Well, they keep their 7. So we're a little light on removal, but we do have hand disruption. At least hand attack. So potentially Shrieking Afflictions can race. If they commit a big enough board presence. Okay. Hymn to Turok. Down a Rebuke and a Citadel. Yeah, it's going to be tough to come back from, opponent. Ooh, and I have the Vindicate coming out. Shrieking Affliction, Shrieking Affliction. Opponent's taking 6 if they get down to 1 card in hand. Probably shouldn't have played that land, to be honest. Get out the Temple, take another Vindicate, animate the Factory. I probably should have actually just flashbacked, or yeah, flashback the Skull Fracture there. Dealt 6. We'll see what they come up with here. Okay, so they are suiting up the Citadel, so we definitely need the Vindicate on the artifact, Insole artifact here. Suit up the factory. Attack in for 2. Now if they play something, we'll definitely do the Skull Fracture. Spell Bomb. I guess we're not doing the Skull Fracture. Aethersworn Canonist. Each player who has cast a non-artifact can't cast another. Huh. You know, I think it's just Ritual of Soot. Animate the Mishra's Factory. See where this goes. Again, they can't even double spell here. They're just in really a world of hurt. I think they accidentally F6 through their own turn right there again. Cast Desecration Demon. Animate the factory. Opponent still playing lands. Animate the factory. They probably don't play very many lands for 6 of the 7, 8 of their top 16. Half. It's pretty tough. An Ornithopter might block. What is this? 6 mana. 7 mana. Target creature gets minus. No, Herald of Anguish. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card. Sack an artifact. Okay. That's something. I'm guessing they wanted to cast that sooner than turn 10. Alright, there we go. GG's. Round 4. Alright, we are 4-0 in the league right now. That means this is the finals. 5-0. Let's see if we can get it. I chose to be on the draw, as always. This hand is not going to work out. We're going to mulligan that. This is looking a lot better. Yeah, Shrieking Affliction. Hymn to Turok. Let's get rid of a Swamp. Tombstalker's probably not going to get cast, but you never know. Alright, let's see what opponent's on. Reliquary Tower. Maybe some sort of Artifact Brew. Some sort of weird eggs deck. I think Davriel seems fine for that then. Looking to cast him next turn. Black. Core Tapper. Put a charge counter on target artifact. Sacrifice. Put 2 charge counters on target artifact. That's really sweet. So they're doing busted artifact stuff. We got rid of Portcullis. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if there are 2 or more other creatures, exile it. Return it. What? That is so weird. It's like a weird lock piece prison deck. It's like Core Tapper Prison. So looks like maybe that was their land for the turn there. Okay. In that case, ooh, see, this is where it gets tough. This actually is a tough decision. So we're expecting them to need to cast high converted mana cost cards. We know they don't have a 2 mana play, so vindicating the swamp isn't the worst idea. It's actually really rude, but I think it's the correct play. Okay, well, we don't want to vindicate Drownyard Temple, so maybe they're sacking their own artifacts. Okay, here we go. Duress, let's see what they have. Dark Suspicions. I have to read literally every one of these cards. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, they lose X life, where X is the number of cards in their hand, minus cards in your hand. Weird. Magistrate's Scepter. Remove 3, take an extra turn. Norn's Annex. Creatures can't attack you unless they pay 2 life. And the Portcullis. Oh, man. I think the Scepter, I don't want them taking extra turns with the Core Tapper. But they would still have to pay 4 mana. So they have to play the Scepter, pay 4 mana. I think it's got to be the Portcullis. The Annex, I can pay 2 life. Or even white mana with Temple of Silence. Let's take the Portcullis. I'm going to leave that up right there near their revealed cards, because that is... Wow, what a deck. Let's get Shrieking Affliction down and pass the turn. So it is some sort of artifact prison deck. Maybe they have some sort of like weird infinite synergy with the Core Tapper, or the Core Tapper is just trying to ramp out that Scepter synergy. Whatever it is, I would like to Davriel. We can hide this for now. They got rid of the Annex, so they aren't expecting me to attack them, which is actually pretty great for the Tombstalker. Okay, they found their 3rd land, so they have the Scepter. They put, oh, I see. So they put 1, then they sack it, and they get their extra turn. Okay, so I did understand this incorrectly. Alright, well, I'm going to draw a card. Yeah, so they do probably have some sort of... Oh, they have some sort of like infinite turn lock with the core tapper and some sort of untap artifact. Oh no. Okay, we could be in trouble here if I don't find removal for that. Yikes. Vindicate something. No. Oh, okay. Well, Tombstalker is coming out. Okay, I got 4-ish turns to pull this off. Because them not sacrificing the core tapper there tells me they are looking for some sort of infinite synergy with it. Man. What a weird matchup we have right here. Okay, we drew another Affliction, so we definitely want to get rid of Davriel here. Get the discard. I have the Factory. So we tap this, activate the... There we go. We don't want to tap the one that's summoning sick. Next time I will activate the non-summoning sick one first. We got them at 1 with the Afflictions here. So if they don't have the infinite combo or whatever they're trying to do, I think we have it locked up. They get another turn. They get 2 turns off the core tapper. Oh, and they have Scorched Ruins. That's what the Drownyard Temple is trying to do. Yeah, I feel really dumb now for not taking the Scepter. I was a little too scared of them locking me out with Portcullis. Because they have a guaranteed another turn with the core tapper if they sack it here. Oh wait, no, they don't, because of Shrieking Affliction. Ah, beautiful. Okay, Shrieking Affliction might win us this this match. Duress. Oh, okay. Well, not exactly how I want to win another 5-0, but that is now 10-0 in a row with the exact same build of Oreo Pox. What can I say? I mean, it is a deceptively strong deck.